We're on a record in cause number 329-370, cases style, the state of Texas versus Paula Sue Rosemore. And that's your full name, Ms. Paula Sue Rosemore, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Paula Sue Rosemore, previously you've been sworn in, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, let me go back over this again. Ms. Rosemore, the information in this case alleges that on March 11th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Ms. Rosemore, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Ms. Rosemore, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the
Yes,
charges?
sir.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments,
Yes, sir.
also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, Ms. Rosemore, there are 2 sets of initials.
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials
Yes, sir.
on this document? Now, Ms. Rosemore, the first set of initials is on a line that is next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest.
Yes, sir.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the next box that's checked, where your initials are, is on a line that have the statement, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive
Yes, sir.
my right to request discovery of the evidence, discovery in this case, and chose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Now, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And is that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Also, Ms. Rosemore, now going back on this document, you've been charged with a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for Class B misdemeanor is confinement in the county jail for 180 days and a fine not to exceed $2,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, on page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, Ms. Rosemore, there is, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Ms. Rosemore, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that's titled
Yes,
defendant?
sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that are checked.
Yes, sir.
Now, the first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you
Yes, sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, prior to signing and initialing these documents,
Yes, sir.
did you have an opportunity to read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And it was on the paperwork that was handed out.
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. Now, State, would you also like to offer State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, the state is offering State's Exhibit Number 1 to be used as evidence against you in your case. Now, State's Exhibit Number 1 is the document that have your initials on page 2, and it has your signature on page 3.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit Number 2 is what we call a probable cause affidavit. It's also referred to as a police report.
Yes, sir.
The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, is it all right for the state to use these 2 documents as evidence against you in your case?
Yes, sir.
No objections?
No.
State's Exhibit Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Rosemore, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
I don't know, sir.
Do you have any,
I'm bipolar schizophrenic.
okay, but do you understand what's going on now?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you have any mental problems now that interferes with your ability to understand what's going on right now?
No, sir.
And now, Ms. Rosemore, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
State. Okay, state, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's 90 days probated over 1 year, a $500 fine, and 40 hours community service.
Okay, now, Ms. Rosemore. Oh, let me do this here. Now, Ms. Rosemore, I have before me a document that is titled "The Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney." Ms. Rosemore, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature at the bottom of this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this, are these your initials
Yes, sir.
on the line right here
Yes, sir.
that says that I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent
Yes,
myself?
sir.
Okay. And I have another document here that's titled "Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding a Trial." Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the
Yes,
line that
sir.
says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Rosemore, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you have an opportunity to read the document?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the
Yes,
best of your
sir.
knowledge? Okay, now, Ms. Rosemore, the state in this case is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, we have an affidavit for maybe a magistrate warning, something like that.
No, I don't see a magistrate on this case.
She didn't have one?
Mm-mm.
Okay, now, Ms. Rosemore, the state is offering that you pay a $500 fine plus court costs of $307. The total fine and court costs is $807. You will also be required to pay $60 each month on probation fees and $15 each month on a urinalysis fee. Your total amount that you would have to pay each month or for your monthly installments is $150. Ms. Rosemore, would you be able to pay the $150?
No, sir, I won't, because I only get 1 check a month,
Okay,
and I pay bills.
okay, Ms. Rosemore, just hold on a minute. We have to give her an affidavit. I need to get some information from her. Is there an affidavit on the, Ms. Rosemore, could you, where it says affidavit, Ms. Rosemore, just take a seat there at that table and just fill out that information, and then you can come back up when you finish. back on the record in cause number 329-370, case of Style of State of Texas versus Paula Rosemore. Prior to the court going into recess, the court inquired as to whether or not Ms. Rosemore was able to pay the monthly installments of $150 per month. She stated, no. I had Ms. Rosemore to fill out an affidavit of indigency. I just received the affidavit of indigency. Ms. Rosemore, I see here that you received state benefits. I mean, yeah, you received benefits, is that correct? And all of the boxes that you checked off is just true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And is this the total amount that you received on the, okay. And so as far as the rent and your food expenses, is that just the total amount that you get from SSI, I mean, that you get from,
I get $794 from SSI.
I see that. I was gonna, so you spend about, how much you spend about on a monthly basis in terms of food?
I spend all my stamps.
Okay,
I
okay,
get stamps, but I buy household items also.
okay, okay. So Ms. Rosemore, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. And based on the court's finding that you're indigent pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the fine and court costs in this case, which totals $807. Let me clear this out. This fine of court costs, which total $807, is going to be converted to community service. And that means that you'll be required to perform 65 hours of community service to pay off your fine and court costs. So you won't have to pay the fine and court. You'll just you'll work it off through community service. And the probation fee, instead of being $60, we're going to reduce it to the minimum because you're found to be indigent, and the minimum is $25. Okay. Now she's going to type the judgment, and basically when she retypes the judgment, the probation office is going to be the ones that see that your fine and court costs was converted to community service, and they're going to adjust the amount of money that you would have to pay per month.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, so your monthly installments is going to be, it's not going to be $150. It's going to be, I would say, substantially lower, based on the fact that your fine and court costs is going to be converted to community service, and based on the fact that your probation fee is going to be the minimum at $25 per month. Okay, so your court costs is, excuse me, your community service is 65 hours. Is going to be in addition to the 40 hours that you have
Yes, sir.
on the regular community service. So let me repeat this to you. Now, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, there's a fine of $500 plus court costs of $307, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $807, which is going to be converted to 65 hours of community service. The probation fee of $60 is going to be reduced to $25 per month. And you will also be required to pay your analysis fee of $15 each month. And the probation office will tell you what your monthly installments is going to be. And as I said earlier, it's going to be substantially lower than the initial $150. Now, you'll also be required to perform the 40 hours of community service, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Rosemore, do you understand the state's offer and then the court's adjustments based on 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer and the court's adjustments? All right. Ms. Rosemore, please stand on the X in front of our court clerk. And once you finish here, you'll be free to, she'll tell you what you need to do, but you'll be free to go. and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Is that it?